It's coming through. Yeah.
Is it?
Hitting the microphone with some anal beads.
You know you're in the right place, folks.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
You know you're at the right place when we use these anal beads, these used anal beads, to welcome you.
They're not used. Well, oh, the listeners don't know. You're right.
Yeah.
Pop.
Pop goes the weasel. That's what I named these anal beads.
The
Weasel.
The
After
weasel.
Pauly Shore.
Great.
I'm the weasel.
And we welcome you to SlashU.
That's when you know you're in the right place, kids. Welcome, students. I am Professor Nick.
I'm Andy.
And guess what we do here?
We're gonna
Absolutely nothing.
We're gonna chit chat for about an hour or so about a cheesy, campy, sometimes forgotten horror movie. This is episode 153. Welcome back.
Welcome back. And I watched this movie on Tubi.
Me too.
But I should have called it Booby.
Yeah.
Because there are some boobs in there, but I need to, before we get into it, because I think this is going to be a quick one.
Oh, yeah.
Something's been bothering the piss out of me lately.
What is it, Nick?
I mean, seriously, dude, like...
Jeez, what could it ever be?
I was sitting there the other day at work, and I couldn't get anything done. I'm like,
because you were just, this was gnawing at you?
I'm trying to get this new pitch ready for, a client we're going after.
Yeah.
And I had to get up and walk away and just kind of take a walk on my own.
Clear your head, sort of thing.
Clear my head.
Yeah. Why?
Would you rather
this is it. Okay.
have to yell, I have a huge boner, every time you hear someone cough, or lick the inside of a urinal when peeing in public facilities? It's like drove me crazy.
Do I just have to give it like a quick little lick? Or
Yeah.
I gotta like lick the whole thing clean?
No, you gotta lick it, but I mean, it's
Just
not like
quick
you,
lick.
just a
every
quick
time,
lick.
Every time I use it?
Yeah.
A public facility urinal?
Yes.
Or someone coughs
Or you hear
around
someone
me.
cough, and
I
you
have
just,
a boner.
I have a huge boner.
I have a huge boner. Every time someone coughs?
Every time someone coughs.
It'd be funnier if it was a sneeze. Like instead of bless you, I have a huge boner. I'm going to start saying that. If somebody sneezes near me, I'm just going to, instead of gesundheit or bless you, I'm going to say, I have a huge boner.
Especially like if they're in public and
Right.
like someone sneezes and you just lean in.
Yeah.
I have a huge boner.
I'm out to brunch with my wife and somebody in the booth behind us sneezes. Turn around. I have a huge boner.
What did you say?
It was really
what do you
throw
mean?
them off. What are you talking about? That lady sneezed. I'm just...
It's the new way to
That's
say
what you do.
gesundheit.
Yeah. It's a tough one, but I think I'd go with the yelling. That I'd have a huge boner every time. Just because the sanitary
We're
reasons.
going to a home
don't think
opener
I would.
hockey game tonight.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to lick
Admirals.
the public urinal there.
But I mean, urine's clean. It's like
Is
sweat.
it? Yeah. Okay. Do you lick sweat often? All
Yeah,
the
I
time?
mean, well, it drips in my mouth. It's salty.
It's your sweat. That's a different story.
If I had a jellyfish sting, I'd want you to pee on me.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd be like, Andy, come on, whip it out, piss all over me.
Neutralize this jellyfish venom.
So
Is it
venom?
Poison?
Poison.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna go with the urinal
Okay.
because sometimes,
Lick
what
it.
if I knew that I was like going to a big like let's say we're going to a facility where a lot of people go, like a sports arena.
Yeah.
I would just wear adult diapers, and then I could just piss myself, and then not have to worry about licking urinals.
I would probably try to rig it so I just don't have to pee in a big public setting like that.
I mean, like if you're in the
You're
airport.
there for a couple hours, and just maybe you dehydrate yourself throughout the day, and then you don't have to go. But that's
Well, tell us.
Takes some skill.
I know
Email.
there's email us at slashupodcast@gmail.com. Let us know, or let us know on Instagram /u_podcast,
Let me check our Facebook real quick. See
and
if anybody...
let us know.
Yeah.
Would you rather yell, "I have a huge boner" every time someone's cough, or every time you use a public facility, you would have to give a quick lick to the urinal? So, well, I'm dying to find out what our 4 listeners are into.
I would love to hear what anybody says. So it's fine.
So I want to talk about this movie we're doing because we did the first one. Mm-hmm. So Andy, I watched it on Tubi. 1 hour, 27 minutes from 2022.
Don't Fuck in the Woods Part 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
We needed a second one.
Did we? Did we need a second one?
This movie is like a combination of so many movies, Andy.
I agree.
I got Slither from 2006.
Yep.
I had the Creep Show from like 1986, like where alien parasites take over humans, turning them into zombies. But instead of zombies, these are more like vampire zombies. But let's not also forget all the Evil Dead shit.
Also true.
You know, chainsaws, lots of blood. I really didn't have a dick kill shot. I'm going to be honest with you.
Me neither. There wasn't anything
It's
that
just
was
really
like,
more.
whoa.
Yeah, wasn't the gore better in the first one?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not going to ask the most, I know I already asked the question that was bothering me, but the second question that was bothering me is which one did you like better? Let's wait till the end for that one.
That sounds good because I got to think about it. We got to go through this one before I can make a decision.
I mean, I'm just kind of ready to get into it because there's so much to talk about.
For sure.
One thing I want to talk about, though, is milk.
A lot of bubes.
Bubes.
Plenty of bubes. This is pretty much a softcore porno in some spots.
I still think the first one showed a balloon knot, and it showed
Polite way of saying butt.
yeah.
Anus.
It showed a balloon knot, and it showed I saw vagine. So
yeah. Full blown nudity.
Let's get into Andy's Clip Kill notes. Brought to you by Rubber Cement. If you want to glue something together with the power of cement, or if you want to sniff something and get a little high, why don't you grab some Rubber Cement? Now, Andy, I call him motherfucking Andrew Damos's Cliff Kill. No.
Thanks, Rubber Cement, for sponsoring. I should mention, directed by Sean Burkett. He did the first one.
Yep.
Nice job. Available on Tubi. The Cliff Kill notes are a brief summary of the movie so you can follow along. It's not a lot of brain power here.
No.
We all thought the terror was over. Jane successfully killed the monster by blowing it up with a fire arrow at the end of the first movie. Spoilers. You'll recall this monster was attracted by sex, even masturbation. It brutally murdered anyone engaging in any of those activities. But it turns out the terror was not over. The monster successfully reproduced before it was exploded. And as Jane wanders out of the woods to Pine Hills summer camp, she and the camp counselors there find out they're under fire from a whole new threat of bloodthirsty monsters. They soon find out they're definitely not going to have time to fuck in the woods while they're just trying to stay alive.
Don't fuck in the woods. Stay alive in the woods. That's
Stay alive in the woods.
Don't fuck in the woods. Hey, so I want to get into it right away.
Please.
There's so many questions I have that I'm going to wait for, but the first one I'm going to say is this. I got to remember. I got to get into it.
You sound great.
Okay, good. Don't fuck in the woods 3? Question mark.
It certainly seems like they set up for it. This is 2022, although it feels like it could have been made in 1997.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough to say that it's it's about to be 2025. They could be making it.
Right. You never know.
I could reach out to the director, just hit up.
Hey, Sean, are you on track for a third one here?
Just hit up the Subway he manages.
Oh, mean. Everyone knows it's a Jersey Mike's.
Yes. Yeah. He looks more like a Jersey Mike's guy. The guy who plays, actually, we'll get into the characters, the guy who played Gil, one of the writers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That explains why he was great at acting.
I have a question about the first scene, and Jody pointed this out, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that the first watch, we had to do a rewind because she's like, did you see the alien dong?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the monster dick?
The monster's wiener.
So I was like, no. So he's allowed to fuck in the woods, but no one else can?
It's interesting. There's no backstory on this monster. Sorry.
Yeah, there is none.
I know how you love a backstory, but is it from outer space?
It's outer space, I would think.
Is a government experiment gone wrong?
Both.
Like, we don't know.
And witches. But I will say
witches.
And I will say this.
Spooky season.
Yes, it's all of it and more. He banged Meg.
Right.
And then Meg was like, bleh, so then she was able to, she is carrying the host.
So Meg in the first movie was one of the first people to get killed. Totally nude, and fucking in the woods as one does, and we flash back to that scene, but it's a little extended. It's a little longer because in the first movie we just saw Meg get sort of like disemboweled, I think, by the monster, but in this movie she actually gets penetrated.
Yes, by the
first.
monster dong.
So we see the monster's dong. There's a cool, put it.
Yeah.
It's a cool little animation of sperm going into an egg.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, it's showing
They
you
do a little
because
cartoony, yeah.
Yeah, because I didn't know that she,
How human reproduction works. You weren't sure.
Nick, when a man loves a woman,
Yeah, right. Simple 5th grade biology.
he takes his.
I
penis.
thought it was upper butt. Remember, because in the first movie, Meg was all the running joke was that Meg liked butt stuff.
But that doesn't matter to
and
the.
she pukes up like a slug-looking thing. So
Yes.
like, oh, it's all her digestive tract.
It looks like an alien turd thing, like the South Park episode where they're shitting out of their mouth. Like that's what she does. Because that's what we all see. We never really see the monster that we saw from the first one, but we see the metamorphosis of what these slugs are going to become, which in the end is going to be the monster.
I would love to know like the life cycle of this creature.
I think they kind of gave it to us a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, it's a
But
little.
does it grow in eggs?
It's a little bit like Alien. You know, it's a face hugger first, and then it becomes a xenomorph alien, and then.
But then eventually it turns into like a sack.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot going on in this movie, and so they go through the Meg penetration of the alien dong.
Yeah.
And in the intro, as the credits are rolling, the heavy metal.
We're getting
It's like
flashbacks.
we really get like a quick summary of what happened in the movie. They pretty much show the whole movie.
They do. It's not important to watch Don't Fuck in the Woods Part 1 because, spoilers, don't go fucking in the woods. This creature will attack you.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all there is to
you
it.
really don't. I mean, Jane gives a little bit of a backstory. She's the only one that comes back. But I want to bring this up too, Andy, much like our Hatchet series, all in the same day.
Correct.
Don't Fuck in the Woods 1 and Don't Fuck in the Woods 2 is 4 days.
It's sequential, right?
It's
right.
like maybe 5 days.
It takes place, yeah,
Yeah.
just right. So after all the title sequence with all the flashbacks from the first movie, we have Jane, our hero from the first movie, snapping awake in the
On
woods,
with the movie, yes.
covered with blood, just like she did at the end of last movie. She gets up, she kicks the monster head on the ground because she blew it up with
with an arrow.
because its blood is flammable, I guess.
Really looked like someone took like a little meatball, a raw meatball, and stuck it in the eye of the alien.
Yeah,
I know that's not important maybe to our listeners, but if you do watch the movie, let me know on Instagram. Do you think it was a baby meatball?
The monster's definitely dead.
Yes.
So Jane kicks it in the head and wanders off.
It's kind of like like the anger is real. She's
Right.
stumbling through the woods. She's obviously alone. So we cut to Pine Hill Summer Camp.
Yay.
Where we meet our main character, one of our main characters, Gil, a hardworking man, Andy, who's there to kind of help get the camp back together. A bald man with a great ginger beard.
Yeah, he's like the handyman. He's been hired to fix everything up.
Yeah, this is kind of want to get into the setup because this is I marked a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's Gil, and then we have Nurse Vanessa who comes along with our character of teenage or young adult
Counselors.
delinquents. They're
Yeah.
counselors.
Yeah. they're
Okay,
counselors.
they never really say that, do they?
Oh, I thought so. Because Gil's boss, Walter, is on the phone with him here. at
And
the
he's
beginning of the
like,
movie.
"Don't
Talk
let them
to
know
him.
that you're a con."
He
they
even
don't
says,
need to know.
like, yeah, these are counselors, but they're barely old enough to drink. So,
Oh, okay, that was quick.
Yeah,
They could have
it's-
brought that up again. I didn't.
yeah.
I just heard that because when I first watched when Gil was taking that back and forth with I guess his boss,
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was like, "Don't tell him about what happened with the monster that get like to kill the kids."
No.
That fuck.
Nobody knows about
I
the-
know because the second watch I was like, well, yeah, it's the same day. It's like the same
Right.
premises. So they're obviously talking about, do they know that I'm an ex-con?
Right.
Yes.
And they don't.
Nope.
At least not yet. So Gil's an ex-con. He's been hired by his boss, Walter, to
He's like-
fix up the camp.
Yeah, he just hammers.
Yeah, he's just like randomly hammering stuff.
Like, oh, there's a sign that needs hammering.
This nail's loose.
So he's good with his hammer.
I guess, yeah. Well, when all you have is a hammer, the whole world's a nail, or whatever the saying is. So, a couple of I wrote tattooed lesbians roll up in their car and ask Gil for directions.
Their names on IMDb is Boobs and Skinny McGee.
Mm-hmm. Close. I think it's like Nicole and Hannah or
Same
something.
thing.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Their names don't matter.
But it is kind of set up like the first one where you know right away, just much like the couple in the first Don't Fuck in the Woods.
Yeah.
They're kind of like camping and they get it. Like they're kind of like, do you know where so-and-so is? And he's like, yeah, 5 miles down the road. And
Right.
they're like, thank you, look at my boobs.
Yeah, they're looking for some park or something. So they pull off after Gil gives them some directions.
We'll no whistling them again.
We will visit them again.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And now our group of counselors
Yep.
show up. There's 6 of them.
Yeah, they're like kind of like they all fit the trope.
3 men, 3 ladies,
And a nurse.
and a nurse. Nurse Vanessa. Her and Gil are been put in charge of the camp. And we have Charlie, Mason, and Will, along with Tasha, Miley, and Courtney.
I like to think of this, Andy. Honestly, I thought Will was like the homosexual trope in the first watch, but it's not. He is with Courtney.
He's with Courtney.
Charlie is the jokester, much like kind of the fat kid in the first
The other one. Yep.
Tasha is the one who likes to party and show her pubes.
Yep.
And then we can't forget Millie. She's the soft-spoken one who can never... one who wants what she can't have.
She likes Mason but can't have him.
Yeah.
Really, the only ones who are coupled up are Courtney and Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of them are kind of... It's a gray area.
And can we talk about the acting from Nurse Vanessa?
I would love to talk about Nurse Vanessa.
Did you know that she was up for an Oscar from The Color Purple, but she turned the Oscar down to take care of her sick
It's
aunt?
such a lie. You're blatantly lying to me.
It's
Try harder, man. That's
No.
not...
Andy,
She was up for the Oscar in The Color Purple.
Hey, Andy, real quick though.
Please.
We've seen a lot of movies.
We have.
And
Quite a few.
This is some bad acting.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to do?
I mean, we've seen bad acting before. I'm not going to put it down, but this is almost to the point. They
Low
make
budget.
She's like, okay, real quick. This
Yeah.
is and action. I'm a nurse, but I really have a degree in science and brain tumors and cardiology, but I just wanted to be a nurse at a camp. And scene.
Yay.
Like
Nice.
she's like we find out like she's this brilliant fucking doctor. Anyway,
Yeah. But she, got caught sleeping with a boss who was married, and she got banished to this camp.
Yeah.
It's not important.
It is not important at
Not
all.
important at all. So-
But I guess it's just a setup. Oh, we'll get to it. But Tasha is the first one to notice Gil, and she's kind of like, "Hey, what's up? I want to show him my boobs."
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
And everyone,
And
of
he
course.
is not attractive at all.
No.
I'll be the first one to say was a good-looking man.
Right.
But he's just skinny and just like scrawny. Like
I guess he's attractive because he's nailing things, and he's all sweaty.
Yes,
doing work.
But as
Women love a man doing manual labor.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that guy.
yeah, he's sweating
He can do things with his hands.
and his hammer. I meant the penis is his hammer.
I understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the nurse Vanessa, Andy, goes to talk to Gil to just kind of set some things.
Hello, I'm Nurse Vanessa. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these scenes, Andy, are really too quick to go by. So I hope we
Yeah,
don't-
it was like the guys go check out their bunks, and Charlie's like, F this, I'm not staying here. And he goes to hang with the girls. The girls kick him out of their bunk, and Tasha has a little back and forth with Miley about how.
yes, that's kind of important.
Because Miley likes Mason,
Yep.
and Tasha's like, Mason's a hunter, and he wants to go after difficult prey.
It's the truth.
He's never going to go after an elephant. And of course, Miley's like, I'm not fat. I'm not saying you're fat. I'm saying you're there and you're easy.
Exactly.
He's not going to want to chase you because he wants something that's more difficult to catch, like me, sort of thing.
It's the truth. I mean, I'm not trying, but when
It's sad. Poor Miley just likes him.
yeah, and she wants to, kiss him.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. Like if something's easy to get, it's not. There is a thrill to the chase that is true.
Agreed.
So,
There's a quick shot of Jane wandering through the woods, still bloody from last night.
confused,
about
thirsty,
it.
hungry, horny.
Really?
Yeah. But then we finally get back to that couple, Boobs and Skinny McGee.
Our tattooed, I called them the tattooed lesbians. They find a quiet spot to stop, and apparently they're out taking photos in nature. This is beautiful. Let's go take some pictures.
It is. The hills of Ohio are
Right.
beautiful. And then our young counselors, Andy, decide to go out to the lake. There's kind of like a free day, so they're like, hey,
Lay out in the
all
sunshine.
6 of them say, let's just go to lay out the sunshine. And Tasha still can't get over that hot bod of Gil. So as she walks by, she sees that he's kind of looking at her, not in a creepy way, but he's just looking over at her.
Right.
So she takes the bottom of her bathing suit and turns it into a thong to show the luscious cheeks
Look him
of
up,
the
yeah,
butt.
seductively. Look at my butt.
Look at my butt.
My butt.
Look at my butt.
And yeah, it's funny how they're just sitting out in the sunshine, and like it's gross. He's like 40, and I'm going, aw, because I'm 43.
Well, I mean, I guess like if they're in their,
Aw.
I mean, if they're in their 20s, I mean, it is kind of
Yeah.
like if I was like, I remember when I was in my 20s and this girl I was dating, her roommate was dating a guy that was like 33, and everybody was like, holy shit, and she was 21, and everybody
Yeah.
was 33, and everybody, oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah,
Like, they were like the guy was whatever.
Right.
Oh, and remember that photo shoot, Andy?
back to our two gothic lesbian
Gothic
chicks.
lesbians.
Yeah.
Boobs and Skinny McGee.
Boobs and Skinny McGee.
This photo shoot turns into a pleasurable ride on a picnic table.
Just flirting around, playing hide and seek. I think the one is off after the other. She kind of like slips off her pants and leaves them on the ground. And the other one's like, oh, I see what we're playing now. They find a picnic table and start, fooling around.
Let's just put it this way: we see boobs.
We do. And we also see a gross, like pink and blue, like egg sack looking thing on a tree trunk.
Yeah.
They get to a picnic table, start fooling around, yada yada. They're having fun in the woods, and there's like this gross looking slug thing crawling along near them.
Yeah, Jody, this first watch we're watching it. Jody's like, she's like, did you see the slug or the? And I was like, no. She's like, you're too busy watching the boobs.
Yeah, because the one gal turns. We get POV of like the slug like jumping into her mouth or something.
Yeah, because she knocks it out because they do quick cuts. Like I even wrote this. I was
we're
like,
back and forth to the teens.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, there's nothing really here.
Right.
Just people talking about, the groups talking about sex at summer camp, and Charlie gets a boner that they call mahogany, which I think is pretty
Charlie's got mahogany.
good. But yeah, just like going back to what Andy said though, this is back, what the crux of this really is about is that baby alien coming to life, and getting into. The lady with the pink hair who has the pubes, I think it just crawls in her mouth.
Jumps into her mouth.
And so that startles her. She kicks her lover, her partner's face, and knocks her out.
Does the other one too.
Yeah,
she gets,
after she knocks out, but she's like, it's making its way throughout the vagines.
I'm not sure, again, what this thing's doing. Like it jumps into one's mouth and then jumps into the other one's mouth.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
I'm just going to say aliens.
Aliens. I think this thing is an alien, yeah. We don't get a backstory. We gotta ask Sean Burkett. What is the backstory of this monster?
It's an alien.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, when we watched,
it's here on Earth to spread and reproduce. Okay.
I'm starting to realize, too, throughout this movie, there's just a bunch of really dumb scenes that don't need explaining.
True.
I mean, like, for instance, we're going up to Tasha walking into the nurse, and they have a conversation about dick. I mean, not about dick. They have a conversation about nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, we are talking about a movie called Don't Fuck in the Woods, so there's really not going to be a lot of substance here.
A lot like Snakes on a Plane.
Yeah.
It's all in the title. The sheriff randomly rolls up to talk to
Focus.
Gil. Yeah, and no badge. It's like they said, put on this khaki button-down shirt. It's going to look enough and this cowboy hat. You're going to look enough like a sheriff where we don't need to put a patch or a badge on you at all.
It's true, and it's like, I don't have a cop car here. Use the Key Grips Ford Focus.
So if you're overweight and getting out with a cowboy hat on, you just, that must be the law.
Halloween's right around the corner.
Looks just like a member of the law.
All I need to do is get a khaki button up and some khaki pants and a black belt. A hat and glasses.
I thought it was funny. Vanessa was Tasha was talking to Vanessa, and she's like, 5 O's here. I don't remember ordering bacon.
I love that too. There was also a great line too. She's like, "He's too old for you," and she's like, "Yeah, so was my therapist," meaning that she's banged her therapist too. So
she's probably got some issues. Yeah.
Number one being she drinks too much milk.
All right.
The whole gang surrounds the sheriff and Gil. They're all about to find out that Gil is a con.
Yeah, the sheriff's giving him some shit here.
Yeah.
Are you behaving, Gil? All this young poon wandering around.
Exactly.
You gonna, I don't want to.
Oh, hey, there's our manager, Jody.
Hi, Jody.
I'm gonna be leaving here.
Oh, okay. We were just talking about you.
It's
How you
good
said
to
I
see
was
you.
looking at the boobs instead of the slug. Have a wonderful time. Jody's going to see the Black Crows tonight.
Oh,
I am.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, you look great. She's wearing a SlashU podcast showing her off her sweet belly.
Represent.
Hey, if any guy named Eduardo tries to come up and give you a kiss,
Umberto?
Umberto, you tell him no.
But only those guys. Some guy named Ted comes up to you.
That's cool.
All right.
Ted's fine. All right, babe, have a great time.
I love you.
Love you too.
So the sheriff, he's like, this young poon wandering around. Are you behaving yourself, Gil? I don't want to hear about some girl having a problem. And so it's been revealed. Gil is an ex-con. That's that.
And it's like it's.
This was all pointless. I put it in my notes. This was all pointless.
Well, I mean, I guess to find out he's a con because
the
it
group
cuts
finds
to the
out
night.
They could have found out at the campfire later.
They
could
could have been like, "What's your story?" Because he does open up at the campfire.
Exactly. So
He
the
tells
scene
a-
with the sheriff was stupid.
It's what he does is he just tells them around like they're kind of concerned around the campfire. Then poof, Gil appears and he's like, "Well, I'll tell you the story."
Yeah.
And it's really only about a what am I call a chop shop gone bad.
Yeah.
and he was gone to prison. There's really
He owed a
nothing to
bunch
it.
of money. They
Yep.
ran a chop shop, stripping cars. They paid off their debt, but they got greedy, and his friend ended up turning him in one day when the cops raided the place.
So it really is non-violent, just wanted money. But this is kind of when the action. This is our first night. The action
Here
really
we
starts to go. Courtney and Will walk off first.
Yeah.
And then Tasha wants to tame her urges, and she walks to the shower and gives Mason a wink.
She walks seductively, looking at Mason into the shower building. Meanwhile, Will and Courtney.
He has a tent set up in the woods.
And he's wearing a blonde mullet wig. He's super goofy and kind of dumb.
Yeah,
I didn't like this guy.
He's really into kink, so he thought he'd set up like the tent to like the 80s slasher, like, hey,
Yeah.
you get sex and people get killed, and she's like,
I'll be the naughty camper, and you be the counselor, sexy counselor out to discipline me. Yeah.
So this is really nothing much happening. We're just kind of getting set up for sex because the movie is. I don't know if you remember. It's called Don't Fuck.
Don't fuck in the woods. Yeah.
Back
So
in
there
the
needs to be some fucking.
Yeah, Tasha back in the shower. Tasha gets ready in front of the bathroom mirror, adjusting her boobs because she knows Mason's gonna be following her.
Yes.
And of course Millie notices this, Andy, and she does not like this. She's kind of getting the idea that her girl is kind of showing her that she can tame the beast.
Charlie and Miley at the campfire won't be hooking up.
No.
Will and Courtney are having sex in their tent. Mason and Tasha are in the showers, having like full blown hard.
I mean, this is something you might see, like if you ever have heard about. I don't know if you know, on the internet that you can look at porn on the internet.
You can.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't know
no
that.
idea until like
That's
a couple
crazy.
weeks ago.
Jeez.
So this, from what
Is that
I'm
why your right arm's so much bigger?
Hey.
Working out. Gross.
So, but anyway, it looks like something you would watch maybe on,
Cinemax back in the day.
Cinemax back,
Yeah.
maybe even harder because they are going at it.
Yeah.
And it's just a bunch of sex.
Miley comes into the bathroom and hears them having sex and storms off pissed.
Because, she notices Mason's sweet hairy butt.
Yeah. And back at the campfire, poor Charlie's all by himself now. And Gil just says, go to the shed under the mattress. And so Charlie goes off and he finds a nudie mag and some weed under the mattress.
Well, because Gil told him.
Yeah. Gil told him.
Gil was like, Gil kind of felt bad for him.
Right. Go in the shed, look under the mattress.
So that means Gil smokes weeds and looks at porn?
I guess so.
Let me ask you another question. Did you hit pause when they were showing Mason's sweet hairy butt?
No.
Don't lie. Pretend we're really close.
I didn't hit pause.
Why not?
I don't know. I didn't need to. What?
I didn't either.
Okay.
So I just kind of thought that was sweet of Gil to kind of say, Charlie, I got you hooked up. I got some stink bud and some.
Right, Charlie. It's okay. Go. You'll be
I think the name
fine
of the
on your
magazine
own.
was Dirty Vixens.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Will and Courtney in the tent finish having sex. She steps out to go pee, and there's a disgusting,
She
gross.
has to pee. Why is that always the thing?
You always gotta go pee, and she goes out into the woods to go to the bathroom, and a gross alien slug thing is on the ground, and it jumps up into her vagina, which we see 100%. We watch it go in.
I love that it's prosthetics.
This is rated R,
Well, yeah.
not X.
Do you think that was a real vagina?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I don't think so.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, here you gotta.
How would they film it if it was a real vagina?
Better yet, take 2, take 3. I mean,
But also, like,
Yeah.
hey, I got hired for a prosthetics gig for this movie called, I don't know what the movie is, but let me see. I got to open my email to see what I'm building. Oh, a plastic vagina.
right? The prop
Okay.
department, like, oh yeah, we have 4 of those laying around. It's. I'm at a loss for words, but it's graphic.
Even
Well,
like when Jimmy's
yeah.
like, oh my, like it
Oh,
really
yeah,
does.
wow.
The first time you see it, you're like, holy shit. But yeah, the slug goes up the vagine.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Tasha and Mason are still in showers, really going at it. And
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about how they're going at it. Like,
she's tied up.
Yeah,
around
I mean,
the
they're
shower.
getting very.
The shower rod has
Yeah.
her hands tied up above her, and he's behind. And then she grabs a stool, and he sits on the stool, and she straddles him. Yeah, they're every which way but loose, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I just to shoot a movie like that and just say, okay, cut. Like I feel like I always bring that joke up. Like if I was an actor, I'd be like, I'd sneeze. Nick, you sneeze. We got to shoot it again.
Oh no,
Okay.
I blew the take. You better let me touch your boobs again. Yeah. I understand. I wrote it in my notes. Tasha and Mason going to town in the showers. All caps, town in the showers. But that's kind of how the night ends, right?
Yeah,
like
the Gil and nurse scene, I wrote boring. There's no reason.
Gil and Vanessa chit chat by the fire. It doesn't matter.
Cut to the next day.
The next morning, Mason's doing some pull-ups on the jungle gym.
Yeah, it's a beautiful morning.
Beautiful morning.
Everybody's walking with smiles. Like Andy said, they're working out. Their underwear full of stains.
We briefly get to see Nurse Vanessa.
That is a body double.
Naked. That's not really her.
I can tell you why too.
Please. Enlighten me.
Yeah, okay. Everyone else in this movie, you see full face in their boobs. I don't understand why they couldn't show her face when they show her butt and side boobs. And here's why. I mean, it's kind of like, well, you saw the first Don't Fuck in the Woods, and you've read the script for this.
Yeah.
So obviously Vanessa was such a great actor, they were willing to put a body double in there. Because if it would have been her, they would have just shown her face. They would have. I mean, there wouldn't have been just like a.
It's from the shoulders down.
Yeah, there's no reason. I'm 100% guaranteed that's a body double.
She just didn't want to be nude.
But I mean, what?
I don't know.
To me, it's like we could.
Maybe she's running for Congress and she didn't want to be nude. I don't know.
Yeah. What I'm getting at, and I know it's no big deal, but it's kind of like, I don't want to show my boobs and butt in a movie called Don't Fuck in the Woods. That's fair, and that's your right.
Right.
But it's not because she's a great actor, like, whoa, she's so good at acting.
She's not preserving her integrity as an actress.
So, oh my God. And I mean, that's fine if it's her
she
choice.
She just didn't want to be nude on camera.
I know, but then why even show the body double? Like, why do we even, we get enough boobs and butt and hairy butt.
Also true.
Yeah, so anyway,
I think it's just like Gil walks in, but he walks in on her and sees her.
Does a quick look, but
walks
he's
back
a gentleman.
Out.
He's a
He's a
gentleman.
gentleman. He walks back out. So I don't know if they're doing that to play up some sexual tension between those two.
I
which
think
doesn't pay off at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't think they really need to show like a body double's fake, not fake,
fine.
real bubs and boobs. But yeah, we cut back to Charlie, who wakes up with, is that lotion or cum on his face?
Lotion.
Oh, it's
there's an an open bottle of lotion on the mattress next to him. Yeah, he lays down with he must have been going to town on himself for a while, and he passed out that way. There's lotion on his face, and
I thought it was something else.
Tissues all around on the mattress next to him, and he just sort of
he must have gone to town too.
He wakes up.
Maybe he heard Mason and Tasha.
Maybe, or just that magazine was really, really good.
Naughty Vixens.
Naughty Vixens.
I love this is what everyone's waking up, Andy, to come to breakfast, and I love how Tasha just walks in with her bra, like doesn't even have her shirt on, and when she does put her shirt on, she is cut.
She's ripped, cut like a hole in a V-neck.
Yeah, V-neck to show off her
cleavage.
Yeah.
It's fine. They trade some jabs. Tasha joins the group at breakfast and says, I was just out there being a lion tamer last night. And Miley gets up and storms off, pissed.
Miley's like, later.
No one's heard from Courtney or Will. Maybe there were some bears. Got them because there's bears in these woods. Whatever. There's no gun at camp because Gil's an ex-con. They're not allowed to have a gun. And Charlie gets up and says to Tasha, like, by the way, you smell like Mason's dick. And she says, it's better than smelling like desperation and loneliness.
Yeah.
And he just gives her a fuck you and walks out.
You smell like Mason's dick.
Yeah, it's better than smelling like desperation and loneliness.
Because that's what Charlie smells like.
Yeah. And Jergens. So the floral scents of Jergens body lotion.
God, you smell like floral vanilla.
He goes outside. Suddenly there's a scream from outside, and everyone else at breakfast gets up and runs outside, only to find Jane, our girl who's been stumbling through the woods for the whole night apparently, and Miley sort of struggling with each other. Jane's freaking out.
Why is Jane attacking her, number one?
I don't know. She's just having a meltdown. It's coming, it's out there, and freaking out.
I know, but okay, but
all that happens is Nurse Vanessa tranks her, jabs her in the neck, and
she's like looking over. She sees like gerbil tranquilizer, fucking puppy tranquilizer. Oh, elephant tranquilizer. She
got it.
That.
Yeah, they somehow have elephant tranquilizer.
I don't know, but it knocks her out. Yeah, I mean, I guess I gotta have it.
Those campers get on PCP and flying around. You gotta put them down.
There's a lot of mushrooms in those woods of Ohio.
So they knock Jane out.
Yeah, and they put her in a there's like a bed, Dr. Harvard over here,
like
Vanessa,
the medical cabin, yeah,
so so Vanessa can get all fucking Grey's Anatomy on her, and Charlie's walking through the woods, calling for his friends,
Will and Courtney,
while Gil and Mason get all science doctory, you know, like I just love it. Like this, I'm sorry, I don't know how to put it in words that they're making this nurse, this doctor, like
Vanessa's like super.
like John Hopkins fucking, you know, war doctor, you know, I was the second doctor to do a heart transplant kind of shit.
Right. She has 6 PhDs in microbiology and.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, okay, go ahead.
And she wrote her thesis on alien biology and cryptozoology and yeah, she just like knows everything.
And she has to become a camp nurse just because she banged a dick, you know.
She hit a pedestrian in a crosswalk and the judge sentenced her to community service, meaning you got to go be as a counselor at this camp. Nurse at this. You remember Spirit Camp?
Yes.
Yeah, that movie. That's where she's like in juvie, in trouble with, you know, juvenile delinquent, and the judge sentences her to go to cheerleading camp. Same thing happened to Vanessa. She was fucking off, and I don't know. She skipped her probation on something.
Not use her good to help fucking, you know, push science and directions, you know, for cures. Let's send her to summer camp with some horny kids.
She could be in, you know, the FEMA, Red Cross, or some other, you know, Doctors Without Borders or something.
Totally.
Instead, she's go to this summer camp and be the nurse.
Would you rather go to summer camp or help, you know, humanitarian aid, you know, to help provide, you know, medical resources to third world countries?
Yeah, I know. If I spent all that money and time educating myself and I had all that knowledge to share,
I'd go to summer camp.
I'd probably go to summer camp. Yeah, at least they speak English, you know. Maybe that's Vanessa's thought. So, in any case,
Courtney is kind of circling.
Charlie's out there in the woods. Yeah,
Courtney's circling him. You know, Courtney's alive, Andy. And
right, she had that thing go up her vagina.
Vagina.
Yeah, and we haven't seen her since.
And so, but she finally confronts Charlie, pushes him down, and unbuttons his pants, and starts to ride him sexually.
Oh yeah,
he's excited.
He's loving it.
Not questioning. Why are you covered in blood and dirt?
Nope. He starts grabbing her breasts, even though she's covered in blood and dirt.
Yeah, like, not, are you okay?
Nope.
He's more concerned about getting his willy wet than he is about
100%.
asking if his friend is okay.
100%. But what happens, Nick? We have the cool overhead shot where she leans back and looks upwards, and her pupils are gone, white, just solid white eyes and big pointy teeth.
Yes.
And she leans down and bites Charlie in the neck.
Yeah, just blood.
Spray of blood
like
on the tree.
A vampire zombie is what I'm calling him. I don't, you know, I have no idea what it is, but I just kind of like that, you know, Charlie, I guess, got to go out, you know, the way he wanted to.
Died doing what he loved.
I mean, I guess it would be better to go out that way than jerking it to dirty vixens.
I suppose.
But that's just my opinion as one man, Andy. So they have this really good effects that they paid for. The sunsets.
Is that an effect? Or
yeah, I mean, it's just a zoom up shot of the sun.
The sunset?
Oh, it's B-roll.
Uh-huh.
Hold on. I'm going to have to ask you a huge favor. Can we hit pause?
You got to go get that dog barking. Sunset, B-roll.
Sunset, B-roll, yeah. And night is upon us.
Right.
And who are we with? We're with
Mason and Miley are chatting.
Yeah, this is a tough scene.
I fast forward it. Like, she's just like, you know, I like you.
She presents herself to him.
She takes off her shirt
and says, like, I'm ready to tame you. And he's like, I'm never going to sleep with you.
He's like, I just see you as a friend. You know, you need a nice guy, and I'm not a nice guy. He's trying to let her down easy. Like, I'm not good enough for you is more or less what he's saying. And she's like, well, maybe I want a bad boy. But
he's like, I'm not that bad boy.
Yeah.
I'm not that bad boy.
I'm not that bad boy.
Here's my question I have to bring up to you.
Please.
And even after my second watch, would you no, I'm kidding. Miley goes to the bathroom to sit in the stall.
Just pout. I guess upset, yeah.
But she obviously is doing something because it's called Don't Fuck in the Woods. Why is she, do you think she's diddling herself?
Nope. I don't. I think we're done with the things just attacking people having sex. I think that the monsters here from here on out just attack. Yeah, you're right.
You're right though, because they do lose that because you're right, because I didn't even think about it when we keep going on, like these things come out and kill. So
yeah, because we briefly see Courtney and Charlie like zombie monsters approaching the cabins.
I love it.
You know, they got the white eyes and the pointy ass teeth.
What I like is that Charlie takes off running in one direction while Courtney runs in another one. I kind of like that. I was kind of like, it showed that they still had the capability to somewhat think, pursue,
right?
You know, I guess whatever they're looking for.
Our our girl Jane from the first movie wakes up. Remember, she's been tranked this whole time?
Yep.
She explains it's something. A monster.
They killed all my friends.
Killed all their friends.
A couple nights
ripped
ago.
them apart.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just pandemonium.
That's about it. Miley's hiding in the bathroom, ashamed that she confessed, how much she likes Mason, and he rejected her. Charlie, the Charlie zombie, just comes into the stall and fucking, busts down the door and bites her in the neck.
Yeah.
Bites Miley in the neck. We get a spray of blood all over the floor. That's why I don't think it's like, you're right. She's not touching herself or anything sexual. I think it's just they're out to just kill now.
Yeah, this is what kind of pushes us through the rest of the movie.
Yes.
But we're finding out what's happening, what these aliens, monsters, witches are because of our smart nurse doctor who could be helping us, who could be helping the scientists of NASA, decides to explore the bodies of and the blood and whatever, and kind of comes to a cohesive.
She has a theory.
If you will, that
what's going on.
Yeah, it just gets better and better throughout. Too.
Tasha, Gil, Vanessa, Mason, and Jane are all in the medical tent. Mason doesn't believe any of the story. Yep. He thinks it's bogus, wants to leave. Vanessa says, all right, Tasha, why don't you go find Miley? We should stay together. Although I'm just sending you away. Gil and Vanessa are like, we're going to go get supplies. And that leaves Mason and Jane alone in the medical cabin. Jane goes to kind of clean herself up, I think, in the bathroom, and she has a little breakdown, washing up all the blood, crying about the events of the first movie, as we've seen a lot. Vanessa's getting some supplies, and suddenly there's Will. Remember him?
Will is back.
He's there, but he's like
he's not the Will you remember.
He's like a weird zombie monster.
Horny, toothy zombie is what I wrote.
Yeah, and he attacks Vanessa. Doesn't quite get her, because all of a sudden Gil fights him off.
The wrestling, like he tosses Will over, and Will does like a flip over the table. And this scene is kind of laughable because, as they're fighting, the nurse, Vanessa, is like, hey, and she's kind of cowering next to the door instead of running off or helping. She's just cowering there. But Will finally gets what's coming to him as Gil takes a pair of scissors and stabs him in the head.
Right. So that zombie monster's dead. Right. Tasha goes in the bathroom looking for Miley, and the Charlie zombie jumps out and starts chasing her and chases her to back to the cabin, the sleeping cabin, and then the Charlie monster runs off. I'll be back. I'll get him later. Yeah. I don't know. So you have Tasha, Gil, and Vanessa all in the cabin, and Vanessa.
I like that name.
It's a nice name. Vanessa's charting to figure out what's going on here. She's doing like a full-blown autopsy on Will's dead body, right?
That's again, it only gets better. She's sitting there with gloves on and using. It looks like the vernacular tenacity of the bloodstream is taking over the cortex of the membrane that is really producing these alien life forms. It's fucking insane.
She's just talking about how it amps up their adrenaline, and she's able to tell all of this by cutting open Will's body. Suddenly, a weird grub worm just jumps out of Will's mouth and makes a beeline on the floor towards Vanessa
Snooch.
Or Tasha. But Gil stomps on it and kills it.
Blue goo shoots up on Tasha's face. But I feel like the thing that came out of Will's mouth was going for the snooch because that's what it was. That's what, after the autopsy, that's what Dr. NASA was talking about. She was like,
Vanessa.
She was like, it's really, to that sexual drive. And, so this is kind of like what feeds this alien. So
it's all about sex.
Yeah. Don't fuck in the woods over here.
Yeah.
The sheriff is back, Andy. Guess who's back? He pulls up in his Ford Focus.
Why? I'm not sure. But
he hates cons, I guess.
Yeah, he's doing some weird shady shit.
He's planting evidence. He's planting drugs in Gil's room.
Oh,
because he wants to put him back in jail.
He wants to frame Gil.
Yeah, because I guess he hates cons. And then Gil walks in and goes, "What the fuck are you doing?"
And the sheriff pulls out a gun.
A little fight happens, but he finally gets him out to his Ford Focus to put him in handcuffs.
Right. He's arresting Gil just as Tasha and Vanessa walk up and they're like, "Hey, stop. What are you doing?" And suddenly, Zombie Courtney is there.
Zombie Courtney. I love how
Zombie Courtney sneaks up behind Dr. Vanessa and just punches through her chest out the front.
Another one of these kills I did not see coming.
Didn't see it coming.
I did not see this kill coming.
Well, Nurse Vanessa's dead.
God, I mean, it was like no fanfare. It was just like, okay, she's dead.
Yeah.
And then Zombie Courtney, after she kills Vanessa, goes after the sheriff.
After the sheriff, bites the sheriff, right? I think. Doesn't she kill the sheriff?
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, she guts his, like I like to say, just bites into his neck, like a vampire does. Like it's zombie vampires.
Right. And we flash over to the medical tent where Mason and Jane were just hanging out alone in there. Mason like pushes Jane outside and shuts the door and locks it, keeping Jane outside. He's like, "Fuck you,"
Yeah.
And there's a quick shot of like zombie Miley behind Mason. And there's no payoff to that I recall. Did she kill Mason? Like what?
Did we ever see Mason again?
No, we never did.
Yeah, then he's dead.
But what about her?
That was, yeah, I mean.
Loose ends here.
There are loose ends because I have that, that it was interesting when Courtney is on top of the sheriff. Jane comes running out with a bow
and arrow.
I thought it would kill
Courtney.
And she's a great shot because she gets Courtney right through that face.
Jane is a fucking hunter.
Yeah,
she was great with.
She's a huntress.
She was great with the bow and arrow in the first movie.
She rides the steeds through the hills of Guatemala.
Right.
But what I'm getting at though is that it doesn't efface Court. She pulls it out. She's ready to fly again.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets all Evil Dead 2. Tasha, Jane, and Gil are all cornered in a cabin. And then who grabs Gil through the wall, like that wall? He's grabbed. It's Miley. Grabs Gil.
Is it Miley or Mason?
It's Miley because here's why. When he tries to shoot her with the rifle that he pulled from the sheriff, it clicks. So he takes the sander or the whatever and he
buzzsaw.
Yeah, just her face.
Not before he blows away Charlie.
Yes.
The zombie. He gets him with the shotgun.
Yes, but he can't get Miley, so Miley is the one he finally gets to kill.
You're right.
And he goes crazy. We never see Mason again. So,
I think he's dead.
It's like blood sprays. I mean, this is when it gets just so hokey with that.
There's a lot of
blood, like the October rains over the hills of Idaho. Like it is just going crazy. So, I feel like it's just Jane, Gil, and Tasha now. Am I right?
Yeah.
They have to get the bottom of what's going on.
Right. What happens is, I think, didn't Courtney, after the zombie Courtney pulled the arrow out of her head, she ended up taking Tasha.
Oh, that's right.
Taking her and running off with her.
Doesn't kill her.
No, doesn't kill her. Runs off with her. So
Thank you. Thank you.
Gil takes the buzzsaw and kills zombie Miley. Picks up Jane. Is like, "Are you okay? Let's go. We gotta go find Tasha."
Yeah, it's kind of like they're saying.
So
well, it's time
they gotta track down Tasha. Get to the bottom of this.
Yeah, it's like
this is fucking weird. They get to a big cave where there's like
I don't understand this. Yes.
Big tentacle monster. It looks like one of the tattooed lesbians, but I don't think it is.
I don't know.
Because we see them later.
What are they doing in this cave? Like why did Courtney bring Tasha alive there?
Yeah.
And what's going on with all the snails and the snooches? Like I don't know what's going on here. I really don't.
It's like the monster has like spider powers because it's like everything's covered in some thick webbing and mucus.
It's an alien slug spider.
I think, yeah, and it's got a body against the wall, and then it has on a platform in front of it like another body, and that's Jane's girlfriend.
The other one is Meg.
This is Meg and Alex from the first movie.
Yes,
are there in the cave?
Yep.
They must be some sort of weird like hosts for more parasites.
That's a great fucking Andy. That was brilliant.
Yeah.
Do you work for NASA?
The only reason this alien weird monster would have them there, also who put them there? Because the monster that was in the first movie exploded, and these fucking slugs aren't moving anything. How did this happen?
That is so cool too, because
how did they get there?
Did he wait after he banged Meg? Maybe he took her there.
Could be, yeah. Maybe the zombie monsters did.
Like,
it's a lot of unanswered questions, but
they find dynamite and a cavern, and she says vacation is over, time to get to work, and it's the snail cavern, spiders, witches, and aliens. Roll credits.
Jane and Gil are in the cavern, in the cave. They find Tasha. And Tasha's unconscious but still alive, so they get her off to the side. Jane realizes it's her girlfriend Alex.
She has a moment.
Her body has a moment. She takes a chainsaw and saws Alex's body in half to just make sure she's dead.
Is that why she did it?
I don't know, but
I didn't know either.
Zombie Courtney pops out. Apparently, the only zombie left is Courtney.
Yeah.
No Mason. I don't know, but Gil ends up getting getting the upper hand and beats her to death with a wrench. He's just got a big old wrench, and he's just
blood.
But there's gross tentacles and shit coming off of this creature on the wall, and Jane and Gil just fight it off. She's got a chainsaw, he's got a wrench, and they're just smashing it. There's blood and pustules and things they're breaking with.
Good word.
Yeah.
Pustules.
Tasha sort of wakes up and comes to, and Gil's like, let's fucking get out of here. And he lights the stick of dynamite, tosses it on the remains. The three of them get out of the cave just as everything explodes.
And I thought this was anticlimactic, is that
I agree.
they wait, Gil wakes up, Jane wakes up, but Tasha doesn't wake up because there's a stick through her body.
So Tasha died.
Tasha died in the explosion.
Fell on a stick or whatever. Gil gets Jane up in a fireman carry, like over his shoulder.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like,
a good scene. Like, because
he's literally doing it.
Yeah, he's literally doing it. He's not a big guy, and Jane's, she's a very, I'm not
average. What, 5'8", 5'9"?
5'8", probably like 140 pounds. But to deadlift her up and put him over shoulders, that's
right.
That's good. Any weight, 100 pounds, that would have been tough.
He picks up Jane and carries her over his shoulder away. Tasha's dead on the ground. We fade up to one of the dead tattooed lesbian ladies from earlier.
They're both
and it's got like a big old tentacle on her midsection.
A sack.
The camera follows it. There's a big sack, and then the other end of the tentacle is on the other dead lesbian. So it's like it's drawing energy from both of them into this big pulsating sack, egg sack looking thing. It opens up, and like a couple little hands pop out, and then we see like the mouth and teeth of what looks like a miniature version of the monster from the first movie. Coming out like
Baby Seymour.
I'm being born. Yeah. And we cut to Gil. He must hear it like roar, like he must hear it off in the distance, and he turns, fuck, roll credits.
So these alien monsters get their power from goth lesbians. That's what I'm getting out of this.
I guess, because
there's spiders and there's snails and they're zombies.
So the little slug things like enslave hosts, like turn them into mutated pointy tooth zombie monsters that spread that way. But also those two lesbian ladies like are helping birth like a new monster. What's the life cycle? And then that monster would go impregnate a body and make more slugs. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
I'm laughing at myself now. I'm really
There's so much to it.
I know, about a movie called Don't Fuck in the Woods. And I'm sitting here going, well, let's have a spiritual debate.
Right.
I'm sure this discussion will happen at,
Yeah, I guess I don't need to analyze there doesn't need to be logic.
Just got an email from the dean of Marquette University asking us to discuss this movie to the students of
the biology and science department. Said, talk to us about the life cycle of this weird alien thing that simultaneously likes but also doesn't like sex. Only it can have sex. No one else can.
Yeah. Right? And what is it? I love the zombie vampire spider slug thing that and I think it comes from a planet not within our solar system. So aliens, witches, spiders, it's got it all.
Yeah. Bubes, butt.
On a scale of 5 sweet, sexy, hairy asses to 12 sweet, sexy, hairy butts, what would you give this?
9.
Really?
It's 5 to 12?
6 to 12.
6 to 12? Yeah. Right there in the middle. 9er.
Can we do half an ass?
It's your scale.
Okay, I'm going to do 7.5 sweet, hairy buttholes.
I dock it just because it's hard to follow the logic of this creature.
I hope our 4 listeners don't get mad that, we try to talk about this film with scenes that really wanted to discuss. I hope they were able to stay with us. Gil and Jade are the only ones alive. And this just leads to the next question before the kill count.
Will there be a third?
Don't Fuck in the Woods 3? Question mark. Why don't we do that kill count? Do you have the number?
I do.
All right.
So we have, I just tattooed lesbian 1, tattooed lesbian 2, both dead. What'd you call them? Boobs and Skinny McGee?
Boobs and Skinny McGee.
Courtney turned into a weird zombie monster. She got killed.
Vampire
zombie. Followed by Charlie. vampire zombie, dead. Will, vampire zombie, scissors to the head.
Autopsy to discover the science behind these. Yes,
Right.
good.
Miley got bit in the neck on the toilet, and then got buzzsawed, dead later. Nurse Vanessa punched through the chest from the
Very
back.
unexpected.
Very unexpected. The sheriff, I guess, got chewed in the neck and dead. Mason died off screen, and Tasha died in the explosion where, a stick. She fell on a stick and she's dead. That's 10.
Lucky number 10.
Lucky number 10. 10 kills in this movie. Not really a slasher. Our first creature feature, more or less.
Yeah, good. But I start thinking, we talked about that, I think, in the first Don't Fuck in the Woods.
We just had to cover this one because it's the sequel.
Yeah, but we talked about it because are Victor Crowley be considered a creature?
Wait, right. You brought that up. Yeah, that's true.
But Victor Crowley was a boy that wanted his daddy.
He is a straight-up slasher.
This is an alien that was
definitely not a human thing. Right.
Yeah, this is definitely. Hey, so we're still in spooky season here.
Yeah.
And next week we'll be dropping this on the 21st. So so we have to do one. The next one, the 28th, is going to be our Halloween episode. So what do you want to do?
Oh, you don't have any ideas?
Yes.
I have ideas.
Oh, you do?
Well, we have to probably agree on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I don't have it in front of me. Can we pause?
No, let's just talk about it.
Take a quick break and talk about what we're doing next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back, and
That was
Halloween.
We were gone for 4 hours.
I know we had to arm wrestle over who's picking the movie, and
And I liked how we did it without our pants on. I thought that made it really more.
I thought it was neat without shirts and baby oil all over us.
So Andy brought up a good idea, Did he?
Just gloss right over it. Yeah.
Nice
try, Diddy. Yeah.
Where did that come from?
From P. Diddy and all the problems he's in. Trying to lure you to his sex parties.
I love that.
His freak offs. Nice try, Diddy.
Like when you see these things people post, like buy this or order this. Nice try, Diddy.
I just and I don't want to condone anything he's ever done, but innocent until proven guilty. Let's not judge him in the court of public opinion just yet. But he's probably guilty. So, in any case, let the justice system deal with it.
Let the justice system do their thing.
So, for our Halloween episode.
Yeah, we decided, Andy brought up a good point, and it might even carry us on into November, because what we do here at SlashU, it doesn't need it to be October. We'll do it year-round.
True.
That's what we do here at SlashU. So, from 2013, 1 hour, 23 minutes.
All Hallows Eve.
I think we'll get some audience. I think the audience, the four cats that listen to us, I think they're really going to like this.
Probably like it. Available on Tubi, AMC Plus, Roku channel, Prime Video, lots of platforms. While babysitting 2 children on Halloween, a babysitter finds a VHS tape in one of their candy bags. The tape contains 3 horror stories linked together by a killer clown. As the night progresses, strange things happen in the house.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this one, Andy.
All Hallows Eve. So that'll be our Halloween episode. It looks like it naturally leads us into Terrifier and those movies. There is All Hallows Eve Part 2, by the way, so we'll figure it out. But
because now that we're going to the new ones, I want to see Smile. Smile 2's coming out.
There's a lot.
I hope the horror slasher is coming back.
Yeah,
that'll be good news.
It sure
for Murder
seems
Cabin.
that way. Right.
When we drop the All Hallows Eve episode, I will have celebrated my year alcohol-free. Heyo!
You recently celebrated a birthday.
Yes, I did.
A few days ago.
42.
Nice. Yep. Happy 42nd birthday,
Thank you, brother.
Fred.
I appreciate it.
That's not true. That's a fake news. Nick's a little older than that, but not at heart. He's a young man at heart. Follow us on Instagram, /U_podcast. Follow murder_cabin_movie for Murder Cabin updates. You can email us.
I brought that up, right? Did I bring that up?
That you've seen some...
Yeah,
last week you brought it up.
Professor Eric sent us the first assembly, which
you called it. Yeah, you even called it an assembly. Terminology
and
for
terminology.
Those of you.
It means it's a rough cut, but it's just kind of placing things in the order that they need to go in to start the score. Andy is very impressive in this movie. Everyone's impressive. Sid, Chloe, Ender, and Andy, the family at the cabin. We are so excited to share their story with you.
Facebook.com//U podcast. I've been throwing stuff up on Facebook We got people liking the page.
Oh,
So
good.
tell your friends.
Yeah.
Rate and review the show.
Thank you for running the Facebook page. As you know,
It's
I am not.
easy. I just post something
And
every now and
also
then.
follow us on the street if you see us walking down the road.
Just follow us.
Just follow us.
Email us, slashupodcast@gmail.com for all your comments, questions, suggestions. We read those. SlashUpodcast.com is the website, and, that's about it.
Mail us your favorite casserole recipe at 2533 South Graham Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53207.
Uh-oh. Nick's going to have company now.
I'd like that.
Well, that's it. Until next time, everybody, class dismissed.
Go Admirals!
Go Admirals.